Is your partner your best friend? Well, the likelihood is you're going to answer yes, because most people do. And yet, the reality is, a lot of us don't treat our significant others with the same level of attention or affection that we would our closest acquaintances. And it's oftentimes a case of just over familiarity. We see them day in, day out, we often live with them, and we tend to take things a little bit for granted. We often also have very high expectations for what our partners should be, the role that they should play in our lives. We expect somebody to constantly meet all of our demands and meet all of our needs, and we put all of our eggs into the one basket. And this is a recipe for disaster. I mean, ultimately, no person can fulfill all of another person's needs. I mean, oftentimes some of them need to be filled from within, or they need to be filled from friendships or kind of work situations. As I said, when you're over reliant on one person, it's just too much pressure. We also have to be realistic about what relationships are. A lot of what relationships entails is forgiveness and compromise and understanding, and working through resentments and conflicts in as healthy a manner as possible, and trying to grow through every scenario, as opposed to expecting everything to be a bed of roses, because ultimately that's never going to happen. As people, we grow, we evolve, and we can either grow together or we can grow apart. And I think there's a lot to be said for appreciating your partner, for being kind to them, for being very forgiving for what they're not, and very appreciative for what they are, because we oftentimes tend to zoom in on all of the stuff that our partner doesn't do, as opposed to seeing all of the stuff that they do. And when we get together initially, we tend to place people on a pedestal, and we just think they're amazing. And then as years go by, it's like it kind of subsides a little bit, and we don't check in with each other as often as we used to. And we don't kind of send those little text messages that can be so sweet throughout the day. We don't support our partner in all of their endeavors. We don't kind of wish them luck as they go about their day. There's just that kindness is just gone, and it's so important to keep that alive, because it's those little bits of appreciation and acceptance of the other person that will keep the relationship alive. It's having interesting conversations, it's taking your attention away from your phone for just a few moments. Imagine, if kind of one of your friends called to your house, and you opened the door and they came in and sat down, and you just went straight onto Facebook and just ignored them for 15 minutes. And yet we do this with our partners quite a lot. We come in the evenings, and without even really acknowledging each other or sharing or exchanging stories of the day or even a kiss, we're just straight on to our social media. It's like we just want to zone out from our lives. And it's such a loss to our intimacy and to our closeness and to the actual relationship is that we are meant to prioritize over anything else. And I think then couples tend to put all of their kind of hopes for the relationship into a 2 week holiday that they have each summer, or to the Christmas break. The reality is, relationships are made and broken on a day-to-day basis, and you see it likewise with affairs. I mean, affairs don't start with the intimacy with another person. Affairs start when you don't take somebody's hand in public, or when you don't return the affection that they showed you, or when you say something cruel or disparaging to your partner, or when you put them down, or when you dismiss something that's really important to them. And these are the little things that break a relationship into pieces. I talk about the four apocalypse, or the four horsemen of the apocalypse. It's from the Gottman Institute. And that's stonewalling, defensiveness, contempt, and criticism. And if you look at your interactions on a day-to-day basis, ask yourself how many of them are kind and how many of them are critical, because we do tend to criticize our partners a lot. We do tend to take out our own hurts and our insecurities on them. And ultimately, the more we do that, the more we chip away at, the foundation of the relationship. So just have a think about your relationship. Ask yourself in a very honest yet compassionate and non-judgmental manner, how much are you actually giving? How much joy are you contributing to your partner's day-to-day life? Because ultimately it's not about what you're getting, it's about what you're willing to give. If you are struggling with your relationship, or if you struggle to connect with other people, get in touch with me on my website. It's fundamentals.ie.